Hello, I'm Julia Woning and today I'm going to show you a quick sketch with the basic colors of PanPastel in my art journal. Here you can see I take out my book, open it up. It's just ordinary drawing paper, like a mixed media paper where you can work with all kinds of materials, and today I'm going to work with the PanPastel set by Julia Woning. 9 colors and a colorless blender. And I want to try to create a sky, and let me apply the blue color and some blender on this paper. And I forgot to wipe off my soft tool, so there is a little bit of yellow in it, so I will create a darker color with just a little bit of magenta and the blue. And then I will switch tools, so I'll have a clean tool and I apply the dark blue and the light blue just to create a nice value. And don't forget to use some blender. The blender will create a nice flow on the paper without applying too much color. So it blends the color very well on the paper. And blend the color, the blue color and the darker color on top of the paper with each other. I do this with a light pressure on the soft tools, not too much. Some pink, some magenta in the blue, together like a purple color shine to it. Again, the one with the little bit of yellow in it to create a nicer flow, and building it up, just creating a dark tone at top of the paper. Again, some blue. And blend it all. Then a lighter blue, a lighter tone blue, a little bit of red. Oh, that's too much, more like the magenta. I want to create a purplish tone. Some blender and mix it all. Magenta, blue and the blender. If you want to create a sky with yellow, orange, blue, if you don't put any purple or pink in between those blue and the yellow, orange, you will get a greenish brown color, and that's not what we want in the sky. So that's why I apply some pink, more than you can see at the reference photo. And then I apply the orange and the yellow, because you don't create a green shade in the sky. So there's always a tiny bit of pink between those orange, yellow and the blue sky. And now I'm hitting off with the red and the yellow to create an orange color, a warm color. Some white. And this is a different tool than I'm using for the blue colors, because otherwise you get those mixing colors together. So be aware of that I'm using several tools every time for another color. This time I'm using the round one, but I'm also using a flat one or a point one or an oval one. I have several ones. There will be very nice light stripes in the air, so I already apply a little bit of direction. That's too much. Red, yellow, blue. I want to create a brownish color, so yellow, red and blue, to create a cloud that's very dark. It's too warm, so more blue to it. And I create a nice dark value, a brown value with the yellow, red and blue. And you can apply several colors on your tool that I've just shown you. You can use the different sides of the tool to create those colors, and then we'll mix it on the paper. More yellow. Another tool, because there was dark on it. So I'm using a clean tool with just yellow, blending and a tip of red to create a very nice, bright orange yellow color. And I'll be very careful to touch the dark color because I want to apply a clean color on the paper. So be aware of that. More yellow, just some white. And now I will mix those two colors together. So the light color and the dark color with some red. More yellow. So I'm creating a warm, dark cloud before the blue sky. Again, some pink and blue. It's a little bit out of the frame of the camera, but later on you will see what I'm doing. Some extra blue because that part is darker, so more blue and magenta to create a darker value in the sky. And again, those lines. The sun will peep through behind the clouds, and that's why you get those lines in the skies. So applying that like that through the clouds a little bit, maybe too dark, but we will see. Again, a darker color in those clouds. You can see you can put several layers on top of this paper, but you always will be mixing with the under layer of PanPastel that's already on your paper, so be aware of that. You have to place the light and the dark colors next to each other, but you can mix on top of each other. Again, some darker lines next to the light lines that I already apply. Be aware, not too much, otherwise I will get some green and I don't want some green. Just to create contrast in the sky. It's all about contrast and it's all about light and dark next to each other to get more depth in your work. So some blue, some black and some red. You can see one side is blue, one side is red, and then the black. And then I will apply it on the paper. I create my own dark color by mixing the red and the blue with the black. That's more nicer than just only black. In the front of this sky, there's I'm guessing it's a mountain, and behind the mountain there will be the sun with clouds. But first I apply black, blue and red. But before I go any further, I want to create those light shining sun strokes in the sky, and I'm using an eraser, just an ordinary eraser. I thought by myself, let's do it first before I go any further with the black, because if I hit the black, I will transfer the black into the sky, and that's not what I want. So I have to be careful now because there is some black already there. Make those lighter lines in the sky. Looking at your reference photo that there is different sizes of light coming through those clouds and into the sky. And because PanPastel is very good erasable, you can play with it. So you can draw with your eraser on some more pressure where you think it's lighter. So at the beginning of those strikes, or how do you call it, lines. Then a kneadable eraser, just to get rid of those erasers, gum, or what is it, those little things. And now I'm doing it again, but now with the kneadable eraser, and in the center where it's the most light, I create more pressure. Just by doing it like this. And then again the black, and create the nice outline of those mountains in front of those light colors. So black and blue. Black, blue, red. Making those outlines of those mountains again. Hitting the light colors of those clouds. Be aware that you don't overdo it. Be aware of the form that you're creating. Always looking at your reference photo if you have the same line, hill, because that makes it more interesting. So always creating that what you see, not what you know. You already see that the sun is peeping behind those mountains. Now I'm filling up the underlayers, so hold the paper. I will create those dark values with black, blue and red. The white of the paper will be gone. And then the depth of the drawing is much more visible, because the darker tone is in front, then the light from the sun, the cloud, and then the lines in the sky. This is a very good practice to learn to create values and mixing colors, just on drawing paper, not on pastel mat, but this is a good exercise. Again, the dark color in those clouds. More contrast in the cloud. Drawing with the tip of your tool with a very light touch. Be aware if you have a very dark color in your soft tool that you have to be careful when you're going to the lighter spots on your drawing. The outer line of those clouds, I'm creating more, a little bit in the beginning there. Now another tool, and with some yellow, I create a more yellowish shine in those lines. And that was a clean tool, so with a new sponge on top of your soft tool. If you don't have so many soft tools, be aware that you switch. So switch those covers or taking a new one. But I have several tools, so I can switch between those tools. A darker with some blue in it. Be aware that you don't create any green, so be very careful with those darker colors. Yeah. I'm guessing I will some more yellowish. So this is a soft tool with a very nice point, and you can turn around your tool just to create a lighter color, more yellow. Be aware that you don't hit the black, because if the black will mix with the yellow, it will be not so bright anymore. So be aware of that. Be very careful now. If you're doing like this, mixing it all, some red, some yellow again. And if you think it's fine, then you're finished. You know, you have to be aware of when you have to stop with the applying color. Now I'm using an electric eraser, and with the electric eraser I'm going to draw the outer line of those clouds to create light again along the line of the mountain. So I will bring back the white of the paper, and that gives that it's the shining sun against the dark mountain. So you get a very high contrast. And when you get a high contrast between black and white, you get more depth in your work. So again, a frivol line around those clouds. It's very easy with the electric eraser. This is not a battery eraser, but you can do this with the USB. So yeah, and you have several points, tips of those erasers. So this is the tiny one. You can get a very nice outline. Yeah, it's a great exercise to work with your eraser as a drawing tool. And in combination with PanPastel on drawing paper, and in my art journal, it's a nice project, you know. I hope you enjoyed this video. Try it yourself, maybe with a clean tool, the last tip of it, and then it's finished. I hope you enjoyed it, and till next time. Bye.